So that format is what we call docu-series. So it's a combination of documentary and series. And that's what we set out to do with Playing for a Way Out. We didn't know how to do it because, as I said, it's not in our background to produce documentaries. So what happened was I was contacted by Facebook, a particular program that Facebook was putting together for journalists, and it was called the Facebook Video Accelerator Program. And they invited, representatives from different media companies around the country to essentially take a couple of days of a workshop in New York City. Then they flew us to California to Facebook headquarters, where we did a workshop there for 2 days.
Football is just like, it's my whole life. This is a way out from Patterson, where I'm from.
You know, it was tough growing up in Patterson. Some kids might not see like the things we see at a young age growing up. Like it's just so much different. You don't see like all the dangerous stuff that goes on, and like you won't have to worry about a lot of stuff that other kids got to worry about because of where we live. You know, walking the streets, looking both ways, make sure nothing happened, because anything can happen at a quick snap of a finger in Patterson.
I'm a multimedia director for the Atlantic region, which is comprised of 5 states. So it's Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. So my area of responsibility is photos and videos specifically. So wherever they go, wherever the photos and videos are, they're coming from somebody who works on one of my teams. What I do is, on a strategic level, looking at the whole picture, is I'll find opportunities for us to work together. We're very involved on social media. We have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're experimenting on TikTok, which is a newer platform. And a lot of these platforms are very focused on video, which is exciting for us. I went to Ramapo College in northern New Jersey, and I studied communications and journalism there. I was the editor of the school paper, all that kind of stuff. Credit was executive producer, and what that means is that I'm responsible for the operation, the filming, the personnel who are doing the actual work. I'm responsible for them, and I'm responsible for the show overall, and seeing that it gets completed on time and that it gets distributed out to where it needs to be distributed. So basically, I'm just kind of like the general contractor, and then the photographers are the subcontractors.
Beginning of March, and everything shut down, and every day we were just seeing numbers and stats and percentages, and I kept thinking about shooting a lot of high school sports and dealing with these athletes. I kept thinking about what they were dealing with and emotions that they were dealing with, and how some of these kids, their junior year is like their year to show what they have to show their skills.
Those are the kind of videos I like to do. I just like to tell stories, and hopefully people are willing to let me spend time with them, and that's that getting that access is really what I enjoy.
In that workshop, they encouraged us as video professionals to sort of think outside the box and think about how to use vertical video to get our show out to an audience that normally wouldn't have seen it. And they gave us a mentor who was a filmmaker. That program also came with a $15,000 grant that enabled us to buy a camera stabilizer that we otherwise would not have had. And it's used a lot in the series, and it's a really nice cinematic effect. At Facebook, they just basically said, stop trying to fight it. There's a whole group of young users and mobile users who will gladly watch your content if you can format it for them vertically. So what we did, rather than shoot it vertically, was we shot it the way we would normally shoot it, 16:9. But when we were done, Mike and Danielle, they we're able to make vertical edits. So we produced essentially 2 versions of each episode, one standard and one vertical.
So if they don't have a season, they don't even have camps to go to. They don't have camps to work out at because, you know, when there's a season going on, they go to workouts on the weekends, they go at night, they have college scouts come through. All that is shut down because of COVID. So we started talking to, I talked to one of our sports writers. He mentioned a few programs that were supposed to be good and had some kids that were standouts that most likely came from backgrounds that they would need scholarships. So we approached the coaches and they were open to the idea and they said, yeah, just come for workouts and meet some kids. And, you know, Mike and I really got to know them so well. And it was so great to meet them and just see how much work they were putting into it every single day, not even knowing if a season was going to happen.
Instagram was the place where we put the vertical one. And there we can see the numbers. And guess what? The vertical ones got the most views. so you know, the training was worth it. But it was done very artfully. It was shot beautifully to begin with. Mike and Danielle, they're just amazing photojournalists to begin with. So the quality of each sequence and the audio and, you know, just the storytelling, it didn't matter whether it was vertical or whether it was wide. It all translated beautifully.
But once we decided that, you know what, we're going to edit it vertically so that it actually looks good, you know, in that medium. So when someone has it on their phone, it's visually appealing.
Yeah, I thought that it ended up looking great vertical.
There are actually going to be 2 more episodes part of this series. So we'll have episode 4 and episode 5 probably in the next 6 weeks, I think. And there'll be the same people we're following up with, just, you know, checking back in and seeing how their lives have developed since the last time we saw them. I know that Danielle and Mike have been spending time with the subjects. There are some really cool sort of turns in the story for some of the players that they're currently capturing, and you know, that's going to be great.